that I still care for you. Oh yeah, send me the pillow, don't darling, I send me the
You're so sweet like sugar country. I used to climb when I was a boy, oh, baby. Baby. Ooh, your touch is so heavenly. When you sigh, I feel the breath of spring, oh, baby. Baby. Ooh, sunshine, girl, you brighten up my life. Sunshine, girl, come on and be my wife. Deep inside, you thrill me so. I've never felt this way before. Oh, baby, baby, ooh, just keep on doing it.
Q, top of the hour news. As it happens, when it happens, wherever it happens. Local, regional, and global. Only on Q95, the big station. Q95DA.com. Right on, Q.
All right, good afternoon. This is the midday news for today, Wednesday, May 15th, 2024. I am Richie Farrell in the headlines.
Of the hour.
Carifeed Inc. President
When it
Jeff Bellot
wherever.
has issued a call to Dominicans on food safety
Only.
in light of the predicted near-record heat in the region from April to September 2024.
On Q.
St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew applauds the achievements of the National Assembly during the current parliamentary term, where 41 laws were passed in 19 months and 8 people are dead, dozens were injured, and aerial video shows the scene after the deadly bus crash on a Florida highway. And officials said the bus was carrying about 50 people on their way to work. The news brought to you with the very kind compliments of Court Dominica Limited. We'll be right back after this.
You've been putting off. Do it today with a loan of up to $20,000 from Quartz Ready Cash. No collateral needed. Flexible payment terms and fast approval. All you need is your ID, proof of address, job letter, payslip, and 2 references. Visit your nearest Quartz Ready Cash location today or apply online at Quartz.com. Why wait? Get it done today at Quartz Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to Q95 News. President of Carifeed Inc., Jeff Bellot, has issued a food safety advisory to the people of Dominica in response to the Caribbean Climate Outlook CARICOF forecast predicting near-record heat in the region from April to September 2024, with particularly hot conditions expected in August and September. Mr. Bellot emphasized that vendors should not sell certain products on the streets without adhering to proper refrigeration and temperature control standards, with a special focus on poultry farmers.
Jeff Bellot. I'm the president of Carifeed, researcher scientist, also president of Was Incorporated company based in the United States. I'm just would like to send out awareness to the public and the Commonwealth of Dominica on food safety. With this extreme warm weather that we are having in Dominica right now, I don't think it's the best idea for people to be selling certain foods on the roadside without the proper refrigeration or temperature control. It's very concerning to me seeing that vendors are selling eggs on the street without at least keeping it cool or in a cooler with some little bit of ice or at least some cold water. This is a very serious issue.
Mr. Jeff Bellot further emphasized the need for the government to increase food safety awareness in the country. He called for public education for vendors as well as farmers, including providing tips to poultry farmers on care and harvesting of eggs.
I think that the government need to place more awareness on food safety in Dominica. I think just need to educate the public, not just the vendors, but also the farmers. I also would like to ask the farmers whenever they harvest eggs, it is very important that they wash these eggs with using a 5 gallon bucket of water with 100 ppm of bleach, parts per minimum, and that is 100 ppm of bleach is really just the cap of the bleach. Just fill it up and put it in that 5 gallon bucket of water, stir it, and then they can use a clean rag, damp it, and wipe the eggs with, or they can put it in there before they go to the market. That's one way that you can make sure that you are not carry any virus or disease from the farm to the consumer. Also, noticeably that quite a bit of food have been sold on the street without proper temperature monitoring. I think the health department of Dominica should probably go and do some sort of inspection, especially right now we're having this very extreme warm weather. This is perfect temperature for certain bad organisms like Listeria, E. coli, Salmonella to grow into a food source. Folks are selling fish on the roadside without proper refrigeration, without permits. These things are very serious matters. So I just want to raise awareness to the public to be aware of that and asking those vendors, to try to take a bit more precaution with these food items you're selling, whether it's raw meat or already cooked, prepared food.
Jeff Bellot, the president of Carifeed Inc. According to the Caribbean Policy Development Center, Dominica's national debt in 2022 stood at the sum of $400 million. dollars. Senior Economic Policy Advisor for the Caribbean Policy Development Center, Mr. Jawala Rambaran, questions if it is wise for Dominica to incur additional debt, questioning the recent approval of Parliament to take an additional loan of EC $103 million dollars in April of 2024. Now, he revealed that all economic and scientific data illustrates greater increases in debt for seeds territories like Dominica as a result of the ongoing climate change crisis. Mr. Rambaran warns against the country depending on any one source of revenue, such as it did over the past decade, and advises diversification into the economic pillars of the country.
When you look at the behavior of TBI revenues, what you'll actually see is that they were starting to trend down. I haven't gotten the 2023 figures as yet, but the numbers are actually smaller. I confirmed this with a Ministry of Finance official yesterday. The numbers are smaller, and therefore the size of the TBI program is obviously going to become smaller. And it is also not sustainable to keep relying on one source to fund out your development program. So that's one issue that we have. The second is then where's the money going to come from? And this table shows you the traditional capital flows that come to Dominica. And there's actually four types. One, the official development assistance, right, which is what the bilateral aid that donors will give you, right? But if you notice, that number has been small and really only started to pick up from around 2020 as the donor aid came in, right, related to material. But remember what I said, you are considered a upper middle income country now. And therefore, aid is not meant to flow to middle income countries, but to low income countries. So as you move forward, these aid flows are likely to fall over time. So one source of traditional revenue, you can't rely on.
Rambaran pointed out some current shortfalls in economic development by the government of Dominica, as well as the reduction of aid flows to Dominica due to the World Bank's classification of Dominica as an upper middle income country. He highlighted the areas where income cannot be relied on for climate resilience and national development projects.
First, your CBI is something that you can't keep relying heavily on. Your aid flows, you can't rely on it heavily. Then the next form of capital comes from foreign direct investment. And that is very volatile in Dominica. It's volatile across the Caribbean because what it does, it just reflects when the private sector decides to enter into new projects. Here mainly is for your tourism resorts. And what you see is that this number just keeps bumping up and down, and it's really small. So you can't rely on foreign direct investment as a main source of revenue. But the two remittances, and this is actually a very promising. If you notice, your remittance numbers have actually gone up over the last 2 decades, right? From 14 million in 2000 to 52 million in 2022. And what that says is that there's a possibility that you could look at how you could tap more into not necessarily the remittance flow, no, but the actual savings of your diaspora as a form of external finance. Of course, it has a lot of work to do with that, right? Because you just can't go and expect people to say, well, dip your hand in their pocket and give them one. We all know a relationship still has to be built up. But the thing is, there is a potential source that exists here. Your next source of funding, obviously, is debt. And what you've seen how this debt has grown tremendously over the last 20 years, right? From about 135 million in 2000 to over 400 million by 2020.
That was policy advisor for the Caribbean Policy Development Center, Mr. Jwala Rambaran. You're tuned in with Q95 News. The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force, CDPF, has announced a significant cocaine seizure in the Lubia area, with the street value estimated at $13 million. Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police Jerry James emphasized that the police force remains committed to its crime prevention mandate and provided additional details of the operation.
The Commonwealth of Dominica Police Force continues to engage in crime prevention operations in compliance with its mandate. On May 1st, 2024, officers on patrol duty discovered and seized 510 kilograms of cocaine on the Everton Estate in the Lubia area. The street value of the cocaine is estimated at $13,770,000 EC dollars. Certain individuals were interviewed in relation to the seizure. However, no one has been charged in connection with the seizure. Investigations are continuing into this matter. The police will not relent in its quest to maintain law and order and will pursue offenders on land and sea with a view to bringing them to justice. The Chief of Police commends the officers for their dedication and commitment to duty.
Acting Assistant Commissioner of Police, Mr. Jerry James. The Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities, DAPD, held its 40th annual general meeting on Wednesday, May 1st, 2024. 3 new members were elected to join the board of directors alongside 4 previously elected members. The election of officers took place on Thursday, May 9th, 2024. The newly constituted board of directors of the DAPD includes Judy Sango, the president; Sonia Julian Blackwell, the vice president; Seraphine John Lewis, the secretary; Nathalie Murphy, the treasurer; Loic Charles, the assistant secretary and treasurer; Irma Raymond Joseph and Roy Labad complete the 7-member board, who will govern the affairs and operations of the association. For the 2024 examination season, Senior Education Officer, Acting and Local Registrar at the Ministry of Education, Magali Celestin, informed the media that 150 private candidates began their Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination, that is the CAPE exams, on May 2nd, 2024. She added that by the end of the exam season, from June 10th, 2024, 639 school students will seek the Caribbean Certificate of Secondary Level Competence, that's the CCSLC exam. Exams for TVET subjects are also being done for 2024.
150 private candidates do those exams, 88 females and 62 males. And towards the exams, at the end of the exam season in June, from June 10th, we will have students, 639 school candidates doing the CCSLC exams. We had the Goodwill Secondary School, Grammar School. We also have the Northeast Comprehensive School, the PHRs. And almost all of our schools, they do a number of TVET subjects. So we have like agricultural science, single award, double award. We have industrial technology building, industrial technology electrical. We have technical drawing. We have also the home economics, family and resource management, food, nutrition and health, textile, clothing and fashion. We have a number of technical subjects that students take all around our schools. And which is very good, PS, because this shows that at least our students are living with technical subjects, a skill at the end of their studies.
Acting Senior Education Officer and Local Registrar at the Ministry of Education, Magali Celestin. Dominica's Grade 6 National Assessment will begin on the 23rd of May and culminate on the 24th of May 2024. That's according to the Education Officer for Curriculum Measurement and Evaluation, Krishna Robin, who stated that 835 candidates have been confirmed to sit the exams. She emphasized that the exams begin at 7:45 a.m. each day, and 4 assessments, namely Language Arts Paper 1, Social Studies, Mathematics, Science, and Technology assessments, will be done online.
This year, we have a total of 835 candidates, to include 412 girls and 423 boys. Included in that total, we have 3 independent candidates. We are excited to embark upon a transformative journey in that all 4 assessments will be online. This initiative started in 2022, where we had 1 assessment online. I think it was social studies. And in 2023, we had 2 assessments online, namely social science and science and technology. But this year, the language arts paper 1 component, the mathematics and the social science and the science and technology exams, assessments will be online.
Education Officer for Curriculum Measurement and Evaluation, Krishna Robin. This is Q95 News. The Dominica Bureau of Standards is hosting an introduction for quality management systems training. The training began on May 13th and will culminate on the 17th, 2024. The training is a result of collaboration between the CARICOM Regional Organization for Standards and Quality, the German National Meteorology Institute, and the Dominica Bureau of Standards. There are 2 parts to the training: the general requirement component and a training trainers component. The exercise forms part of the TBT component of the 11th EDF EPA program. Mara Abraham, the program manager of the Dominica Bureau of Standards, adds that the training will aid in providing a robust quality management system within the country's business landscape. She explains the objectives to be met at the end of the training by participants.
It serves as the backbone of our operations, ensuring that we deliver products and services that are not just satisfactory, but exceptional. The objectives of this training is to provide the invited companies and organization with a foundation and intermediate understanding of the role of internationally recognized certification to relevant standards, procedures, and protocol, and to eventual conformity to appropriate standards, thereby improving quality and competitiveness of products and services and increasing customer confidence. This training is broken into 2 components: the general requirement component and the trainers component.
Dominica Bureau of Standards Program Manager, Mara Abraham. In other news, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Terence Drew, has lauded the achievements of the National Assembly during the current parliamentary term. In just 19 months since the term began on October 25, 2022, the National Assembly in St. Kitts and Nevis has sat in 19 sessions, and a total of 41 new laws have been debated, passed, and enacted. The legislative agenda has been robust, with 53 new bills tabled during that period. These laws cover a wide range of topics, from domestic violence to small business support, new aviation regulations, and public health measures. Prime Minister Dr. Drew has expressed his delight that the National Assembly is working overtime for the benefit of the citizens and residents of St. Kitts and Nevis. 8 people are dead and dozens more are injured after a bus overturned on a highway in Florida. Florida officials said the bus was carrying about 50 people on their way to work at Cannon Farms in Donolan.
There was approximately 50 people on this bus. My understanding, they were farm workers and they were en route to a farm in the area. Post collision, the school bus traveled off the roadway onto the grass shoulder where it went through a fence, struck a tree, and overturned.
And that's the midday news. Here's a recap of our headlines. Carifeed Inc. president has issued a call to Dominicans on food safety in light of the predicted near-record heat in the region from April to September 2024.
And global.
St. Kitts and Nevis Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew applauds the achievements of the National Assembly during the current parliamentary term, where 41 laws were passed in just 19 months. And 8 people are dead, dozens more injured. An aerial video shows the scene after the deadly bus crash on a Florida highway. An official said the bus was carrying about 50 people on their way to work. The news brought to you with the very kind compliments of Quartz Dominica Limited. I am Richie Farrell. The weather update comes up
95DA.
after this.
Right on cue.
You've been putting off. Do it today with a loan of up to $20,000 from Quartz Ready Cash. No collateral needed. Flexible payment terms and fast approval. All you need is your ID, proof of address, job letter, payslip, and 2 references. Visit your nearest Quartz or Ready Cash location today or apply online at Quartz.com. Why wait? Get it done today at Quartz Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
It's time for the weather report. The winds are moving east-northeasterly to east-southeasterly at 10 to 25 kilometers per hour. Sea conditions slight to moderate in open water. Waves peaking 1 to 1.5 meters or 3 to 5 feet. There is no warning advisory for Dominica at this time. The sunrise was at 5:36 a.m. The sunset will be at 6:27 p.m. The low tide 3:06 a.m. and 4:15 p.m. High tide 8:53 a.m. and 10:49 p.m. Forecast for this afternoon and tonight: partly cloudy to cloudy with some scattered showers. The synopsis: a high pressure system is the dominant feature. And here's the weather outlook for Dominica and the Lesser Antilles, valid from 12 p.m. today, May 15th, 2024. A high pressure system will remain the dominant feature across the Lesser Antilles during the next 24 hours. Low level clouds moving westward with the wind flow are expected to result in cloudy periods with some scattered showers. A significant reduction in dust haze concentration is expected to be maintained during the next 24 hours. However, a further increase can be expected by Thursday. People with respiratory issues should be on the alert and continue to take all the necessary precautions to avoid any complication. Slight to moderate seas can be expected in open water, with waves peaking near 5 feet. That's the weather report for this afternoon. Your community notices and announcements come up next.
Do not be afraid of what the future brings. This is only the start of the trans revolution.
Thank you so much for staying with us. Cleaners wanted, no experience is necessary. Applicants must be of good character, physically fit, and have a willingness to learn. Please contact telephone number 285-2367 for more details. Attention, citizens of the Commonwealth of Dominica. The government is embarking on a transformative initiative to fortify our commitment to secure, well managed, and resilient social housing. We are thrilled to announce a consultancy opportunity under the GCF Resilient Housing Project that will assess, build capacity, and offer support to tenant organizations responsible for property management in various housing developments across Dominica. Join hands with us as we continue the success story of our modern and resilient housing development agenda. Having already touched the lives of over 1,000 families, this initiative exemplifies our dedication to harmonizing resilience and improved living standards. The consultancy aims to evaluate and enhance the management capacity of 40 tenant organizations, fostering well-governed and sustainable communities. Your government is keen on empowering these organizations to manage both standalone units and strata-type units efficiently. The consultancy will involve assessing governance structures, financial practices, communication strategies, and more. The objective is to identify and address specific areas where improvements are needed. But that's not all. The consultancy will also design tailored capacity, building initiatives, and facilitate the legal incorporation of tenant organizations. The comprehensive approach ensures transparency, accountability, and effective property management. We invite qualified consultants with expertise in property management, organizational development, governance, and community engagement to be a part of this journey. The consultancy, spanning 8 months, promises to be a key driver in our pursuit of resilient and thriving communities. Proposals must be delivered by 4 p.m. on Friday, June 7th, 2024. For more information, contact the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development at 266-3507 or email us at pssech that's pssec housing at dominica.gov.dm. Once again, that email is pssec housing at dominica.gov.dm. Let's build a stronger, more resilient Dominica together. Your government, committed to your well-being and community development. Vacancy exists for entry-level sales assistant. The individual must be male and a secondary school or college graduate. Acceptable age range is 18 to 21 years of age. Drop your application to this address: Premier Computing Services Limited, 22 Upper Lane, P.O. Box 2336, Roseau, Dominica. Telephone numbers 767-448-8255 and 767-448-1757.
The future brings.
That concludes your community notices and announcements for this afternoon. I've been your presenter, Richie Farrell, with the Q95 News team, wishing you a pleasant afternoon.
This is only the start of the trans revolution.
Winning numbers for Dominica National Lottery, a morning draw of Wednesday, May the 15th, 2024. 33 morning draw winning numbers are 7, 8, and 6. And the multi-X ball is FP. There were 22 winners.